Championship basketball from the 2023 Town Throwdown Awesome Fest, as it is referred to. One more order of business, and it is the boys varsity champion, Malvern Prep, the Friars, Lower Merion, the Aces, to meet in the title game. Welcome back to Cedar Beach Park. Mike Zambelli, Doug Snyder, two programs that earned the right to play for this championship. I know the organizers of this event like to have some local flavor in this title game, but make no mistake about it, we have the two best teams surviving to this point of the tournament.
Got to come up from suburban Philly to see your teams play here in West Allentown.
Yeah, right.
Greg Downer, the boss of Lower Merion Aces. I mean, he's got 3 state titles at the highest classification under his belt. Malvern Prep, always a power in the inter-academic league in suburban Philly. So we got a great matchup of suburban Philly powerhouses.
Neil Boyle, we saw them win earlier, 48-39 over Liberty High School. Lower Merion advanced with a 34-32 win over Central Catholic. Neil Boyle, of course, the brother of Pat Boyle, longtime head coach at Notre Dame Green Pond. I asked Neil where his brother was. He says he's down the shore. So I'm sure he's getting some reports. Owen McCabe, Adam Horencole, John Mobley, Cole Nosek, Justin Nubane, it should be. I apologize on the misspelling. That's my mistake there. It should be A-N-E. And Malvern Prep, Williams, McFadden, Reed, Harker, and Tucker Turner. All right, Doug, we saw Malvern Prep with a solid win against Liberty. I think one of the things, and they're in this championship game for a second straight year, lost to Reading a year ago. So Neil Boyle, who is serving as their head coach for this tournament, certainly the experience over the last 2 years has been just what they've been looking for.
Not flashy. The Friars of Malvern Prep play stingy, tough man-to-man half-court defense, and they really share the ball in an unselfish way on the offensive end. We'll see what happens with the Aces of Lower Merion. Certainly, they've been in big games their entire time. Coach Downer said they're a little down this year after the success they had last year. They were 24-6 last year, Mike, so this team is coming off another strong season.
Well, Prep led by this guy right here, Ryan Williams. He is coming off a 24-point effort in their win against Liberty, and they're going right to work inside with Nick Harkin picking up the first field goal.
Little entry pass. They got the ball right inside to the low post, and Harkin, after scoring 8 in the quarterfinal and 10 in the semi, comes up with the first basket of the game.
On the other end, we got Adam
Heron with a little swooping left-handed layup to put the Aces on the board.
Good start for both teams. Aces will force a turnover. Working it down inside. There's hooping some harm as Justin Mebane has his first field goal. He scored a pair in their win against Central, 34-32. That was a hard-fought win for the Aces.
Number 9, Justin
Mebane to the line.
Great pass from Heron on that assist to get the 3-point play from Mebane.
3-2 early, make it 5-2 early for the Aces of Lower Merion. Three-pointer is on the mark, Ryan Williams.
There's your answer, Mike. There's your answer right there. Top of the key 3.
He hit a pair of threes in that 24-point effort this afternoon against Liberty. Had 17 earlier in the day. This is the third game for both teams. Field was trimmed to the 16 qualifiers to today in the single elimination part of the tournament. Nice job running the court by Prep.
Beautiful pass by Tucker Turner diagonally up the court. Harkin with another 2-point field goal. He's 2 for 2 from the floor in his early going.
Ace is looking for an answer. It's Mobley taking it to the rim, and we'll find that answer.
Strong move down the paint, puts his left shoulder on the defender, scores off the glass.
Mobley 7 in their semifinal round win against Central. Skying towards the bucket, denied at the rim by Nosek, Cole Nosek.
Here comes the freshman Marvin Reed. He elevates but gets it blocked.
Williams isolated one-on-one. He's been unstoppable today. Just didn't get a favorable roll off the window. Aces in a hurry the other way, and a touch out of control perhaps.
15 minutes.
Bench not deep for Lower Merion. Only 2 subs to work with. If you're Greg Downer, you have to wonder if that does play into or become a factor. They obviously appear to be okay. They've won all 5 games they've played. Actually, 6 games that they have played so far.
That was Marvin Reed with the 2-pointer.
Marvin Reed on the board. Did not score this afternoon. He had 10 to start the day against Sam Fells. 3-pointers right on the mark there by John Mobley.
Mobley with 5 early points has not missed a shot from the field, though. 1 and a 2.
Had 7 against Central Catholic.
Okay, John Mobley with that last 3.
Aces sharing the basketball. Open look at a 3. That's Nosek. And all gray jerseys inside to secure the rebound. McFadden couldn't convert. Starting to get back and forth, end-to-end action. Good hustle to save this possession. Nosek. That ball was deflected. Good closeout defensively. It was Harkin. Boy, Nick Harkin goes about his business with his program, doesn't he?
Sure does.
Nick Harkin.
And he's got another bucket at the other end.
Quietly scoring 3 for 3 from the floor for his total of 6 points.
Championship game officials Mike Toll, Kyle Hutnick, Brandon Hibbler. Aces will lose it out of bounds.
Entering the game for Malvern Prep, number 52.
We might have a college bowl game, whatever, here with trivia questions, because we're looking at 2 teams that excel on the basketball court but are strong academically.
Yeah, sure are.
Malvern Prep, a great academic school in the Inter-Academic League. Suburban Philly. Lower Merion, one of the top school districts in the state of Pennsylvania.
Malvern Prep does not participate in the PIAA. Paul Romanchik is their full-time head coach. Leaves the duties to Neil Boyle. Neil seems to have it down. Back-to-back championship game appearances. Lost to Reading, who won for a 3rd consecutive year last year. I think we all are aware Reading went on to win the PIAA 6A state championship.
Neil Boyle, a member of a state championship basketball team at Allentown Central Catholic under Bobby Schlosser, played with that one and only Eddie McCaffrey on that team.
Mobley misses the first and the second.
Reed could not handle that leak out long pass. Would have been a layup if he had made it.
Aces attacking the rim. Last touched by Prep. It'll stay right here.
Great pregame story, Mike. Coach Neil Boyle, myself, and Nico Polari, a member of the Allentown Central Catholic District 11 and league championship of the last year. Well, one guy's a very steady player for himself. Talking before game, Phelps School, where Nico Polari is going to take a postgraduate year at Butts up to Malvern Prep. And Coach Boyle looked at Nico and said, Nico, if you need anything at all, you just walk across the way and you'll find me.
It's the way to do it, isn't it?
It's unbelievable. You know, basketball is a small world, and here you go, an Allentown Central Catholic graduate, Neil Boyle, current graduate,
Sure.
and they're reaching out to help each other. I think it's the way basketball works.
I think it's called networking.
Exactly right, exactly right. It was just nice to hear that conversation between those two.
Possession will now go to Malvern Prep.
12-11 lead here for Lower Merion. They're one of the most historic programs in the history of the PIAA basketball. Of course, they had the great Kobe Bryant. Boy, is this guy a player. He has really been a handful today. gets a little kind roll. He's got a couple of field goals, 5 points.
Sneaky the way he gets through screens, the way he kind of splits defenders, the dribble low. Very crafty.
Aces working offensively. That would have counted for Nosek. He'll have to earn him from the free throw line, looking for his first points of the championship game.
Cooper, his first team start of the half. Going to the line for Lower Merion, shooting 2, number 7, Cole Millick.
Talked earlier about Greg Downer winning some state titles at Lower Merion. Obviously, he won his first one with Kobe Bryant in '96, but he came back in 2006, beat Shenley out of Pittsburgh, and then in 2013 won his 3rd state title at the highest classification in the Commonwealth. He also lost 2 state titles, both of them to Chester.
There's a few folks that fall into that category. Haven't heard from the Clippers in a while, though, in the state tournament. I think they made a pretty decent run. I think they're in the 5A classification now. Look at this guy here. Ryan Williams, remember the name.
Taking some official visits in a couple months. He's going to go to Fairfield. He's going to go to Columbia. He's going to go to Northeastern. He's got a great choice.
Well, sounds like a solid young man. If you're taking visits to Columbia, that means you're getting the job done in the classroom.
That's for
as well.
sure. I like the poise of this young man with the ball. Marvin Reed, only a freshman.
Similar to what we saw in the girls' final, where Parkland had all double-digit victories. It's been the same for Malvern Prep. Look at Harkin. Boy, do I like this guy. Nick Harkin working on the boards, and will go to the line to shoot a pair.
Quietly goes about his business, is banging the glass around the rim, plays good, tough defense. Here earns himself 2 free throws.
Neil Boyle.
Trainer Neil on court 1, Lower Merion side, please.
High arching free throws there, Mike.
Unable to knock down either one of the two. Friars in the tournament beat Palmerton by 30. That was on Thursday night. Beat Duroff by 14 the same night. Came back here Friday, beat Central Dauphin by 20. Had Saturday off, started this morning beating Sam Fells by 17. A 17-point win over Executive Education Academy and a 9-point victory over Liberty, their only single-digit final of the tournament, 48-39.
Williams made a beautiful split of the defense right there to get that ball into the paint and then kicked it out to his shooter for the assist.
That was Reed looking to find some success on the baseline.
Malvern Prep foul number 52, Craig McElwain. That's his 2nd, team's 4th for the half.
Malvern Prep pushing up, a little full court pressure right there. See whether or not the Aces can handle a rock for 94 feet.
Well, then again, they only have 2 reserves over there, and they're attending to one of them right now. Possession will stay with Lower Merion. Nick Harkin, a short breather on the bench, is back into the game.
Like a glue guy. He's just like a glue guy. What do you want me to do, coach? I'll do it. You need an offensive rebound? You want the pass? You want defense?
There's a well-executed play there by the Aces. Mobley able to convert inside. Lead trimmed to 2, 17-15, Malvern Prep. Prep in the gray, Lower Merion in the maroon. Trying to turn the corner, but not expecting the pass, was Andrew Davis.
Malvern Prep foul, number
Don't
10.
blame the passer on that. You got to know where the ball is because he was open at that
He
time.
was indeed.
He's got to catch that. You can't blame the passer on that.
Another one. Coming in for Malvern Prep, number 20, Junior McFadden.
McFadden wasn't on the bench long, was he?
No, he wasn't.
No, close enough. And number 2, Adam Herrenkover.
Greg Downer trying to get his guys a little bit of a breather. Had Tate Perkins in there and Langston Foster. This, as a matter of fact, is Foster. Possession will stay with the Aces. Lower Merion making their first appearance in a championship game in this tournament. Second straight for Malvern Prep, as we talked about.
Williams likes to attack the paint, but then he gets into that floater off of one leg. Beautiful shot right there. That one didn't go down for him, but he's been successful all afternoon with
Got a
that
good
shot.
handle too, Coach.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah, we saw the play of the weekend earlier. A little inside-out dribble, freezing the defender. Then he moved the ball to his right hand from his left and dunked.
Mobley putting it on the court. We'll turn it over. Setting sun now casting shadows on court number 1 here at Cedar Beach Park. And you got to watch. I'm looking at both coaches now glaring back into that setting sun. You got to watch offensively. Some of the passes could be affected by that. Williams turning the corner, sets open up, open look at a 3, but it winds up back in his hands. Don't know if they drew it up that way, but he now has 9. Lead back to 4 for the Friars. And they'll have a chance to add to that.
Good thing about the Malvern Prep Friars is they can take Williams off the ball. Doesn't have to have him be the primary ball handler at all times. And Marvin Reed, the young freshman, can handle the point guard duties at times.
Nice use of a bounce pass. And Harkin, the recipient once again. He has 8.5. 21-15 lead for the Friars.
You've said bounce pass a bunch of times this afternoon.
Really have.
They're really using that well.
Yeah. Friars well schooled. Looking for a backcourt, but instead it is Williams who comes up with the steal, and gathering himself and scoring is Marvin Reed.
Now Reed gets the 2 points on that. But you had Williams making the play, the steal, and the assist. So 2 great things leading to the Marvin Reed layup.
Yeah. 41. I was waiting for the foul.
Talked about Malvern Prep's road to the championship. Lower Merion beating Phillipsburg 58-34. Becca 62-50. Those 2 games were on Thursday night. They had Friday off. Came back Saturday to beat East Stroudsburg North 59-45 to win their pool.
1 minute, court 1 minute. 50.
Good strong rebound by Nosek. Beat Muhlenberg to start today 54-27. Dobbins 59-56.
That was Adam Herrenkover. 35 seconds.
And Central Catholic 34-32. Is that Heron Cole's scoring?
Yep.
2-pointer?
Yep.
Thank you, sir.
Dribble penetration off the backboard for the score.
Clock will stop at all whistles.
Unfortunate. Saved the possession here. That was McFadden.
15 seconds. Countdown. 10, 9, 8.
Heron Cole in a hurry. You're going to get a clean look at a 3.
4, 3,
Rebound to the Friars. Nearly lost it.
Tie. Watch the tape.
And time winds down as the basketball makes a journey over the scorer's tent just to our immediate left. Halftime, Malvern Prep 23, Lower Merion 17. Six-point lead for the Friars of Malvern Prep over the Lower Merion Aces, 23-17 your score. Welcome back courtside. Mike Zambelli, Doug Snyder. Doug, pretty well played first half. Two teams playing their third game of the day have advanced to this championship game and coming down to execution, and the Friars have just a few more buckets.
And their defense has been their calling card all tournament, especially today in the games we've seen. John Mobley, number 4, is leading them 7 points, which matched how many points he had in the entire game against Central Catholic in the semifinal. 3 for 5 from the floor, and he's got 1 3 as those 7 points. So he's throwing up some good points for the Friars of Malvern Prep.
Let's take a look at the play of John Mobley for Lower Merion. Greg Downer, of course, their head coach.
Strong, powerfully built young man right there. As you can see the hesitation and the acceleration, and there he's just hitting that 3 for part of his 7-point total here for the first half of the game. And he's inside scoring around the rim. He can score at the 3-point line. He can score around the basket. So he's good, strong offensive talent.
Aces have not had an answer for Ryan Williams. Mentioned he had 24 when we saw him earlier today win against Liberty, 9 in the first half here. I mean, he's a dual threat. Yeah, I don't know where if you take away the perimeter, he has that ability with that little floater on the run.
So savvy. I mean, he knows how to get himself out of trouble. He knows how to hit the floater, as you just mentioned. He pulls up, he passes the basketball. There he is getting an offensive rebound on the weak side and putting it back after he had kicked it out to the opposite corner. He's really playing well.
Malvern Prep making just a touch under 46% of their shots. Lower Merion 38%. Each team has made a 3-point field goal. The free throw line has not been a big part of the first half. Rebounding advantage just by 1 to Malvern Prep, and the points in the paint pretty even. So we'll play on to the second half. Williams leading the way with a 9. Harkin Reed and Macker Lane. Mobley leading the way. Mebane, Heron Cole, and Nosek chipping in. 23-17 our halftime score. Two programs looking for their first championship here at Cedar Beach.
Got a jump ball. Possession goes to Lower Merion.
Nice tie-up.
Lower Merion a little surprised there. Opened up in a little 1-2-2 trap. Tried to pressure the basketball and led to a jump ball turnover possession arrow to the Aces, a Lower Merion Suburban Philly.
Arrow now is Malvern Prep.
McCabe, Owen McCabe, Heron Cole, John Mobley, Cole Nosek, Justin Mebane, their starting 5. Little soft hook by Mebane off the mark. Everything but the bucket for the Aces. Williams so quick with that first step. And there's our boy again, Nick Harkin. That hoop will count for him. He's the first into double figures, and will go to the free throw line to try and add to his 10 points.
Just does a little bit of everything for this Friar squad right here. Really unsung hero. Does he get a point for that? When you bank it in from the free throw line, does it still count?
He looked over. He said, Doug, I'm going to bank this one in.
All right, we'll count that.
You have on our notes here that he's going to be a freshman. Is that correct?
That is Owen
3-point field goal for
McCabe.
McCabe.
Harkin only going to be a freshman.
Yes.
I just checked back with my notes. You're absolutely right. Yes. There's 3 of these Malvern prep players who are only going into freshman year, the high school year.
Now blocked from behind, but Williams stays with it. He reaches double figures with his first field goal of this second half. Mobley, tough shot.
Left-handed runner right there. Great extension with his weak hand. Scores that off the glass. Yeah, that you just caught me by surprise. Harkin does not look at all like a freshman. Here's that left-handed take, and look at that extension out of the way of the defender's arms. There's that trap for Lower Merion in the corner, which causes a turnover. They're going to get the ball back. Greg Downer changing up his defense to try to cause some difficulty for the offensive strategy of Malvern Prep.
He's forced a couple of turnovers here. Just tuning in today, girls varsity game won by Parkland 43-37 over Emmaus. Really well played by those two. Here's a theft for the Friars. And skying towards the bucket was Achilles Tucker Turner. That's his first points of this game.
Younger brother of Deuce Turner, a great Malvern Prep Friar player in his own right, who was a 2,000-point high school scorer, is playing out at San Diego now. Not too many people in the Philadelphia general area, 2,000-point high school scorers. I believe Chamberlain might have been one of those. Deuce Turner was.
Recapping today, girls again, Parkland a winner over Emmaus in the girls varsity. Girls JV, Bethlehem Catholic 29, Whitehall 15. And in the boys JV tournament, Parkland with a 45-32 win over Reading. In my notes covering the tournament, Reading had won something like, I believe, 7 straight JV tournaments. Here's our bracket, and again, the 16 teams that qualified. You're looking at pool winners and then a couple of wild cards, and all those teams to the left started today with the quarter of or the round of 16 and then on to the quarterfinals. Central Catholic getting the best of St. Joe's Prep, Dobbins Tech and Lower Merion, Parkland Liberty, Malvern Prep and Executive Education. It was Central Lower Merion moving on. Liberty was able to knock off Parkland, take on Malvern Prep, a game we televised this afternoon, and it brings you to the 2 championships. Terrific programs, great pedigree among all those programs. Executive Education, Ray Barbosa. They've only known winning District 11 titles since they opened a school up on the east side of Allentown.
5 straight district championships for that team. Think about the teams you just put up on the screen.
Yeah,
Mike.
no, absolutely.
District 12, Philadelphia Public League teams,
yeah.
Philly Catholic League teams, District 3 powers, returning state champs. I said to Randy Attia, one of the tournament directors, you have 2 of the 6 returning state champions in the boys' side. Reading at 6A.
Oh, Mobley with a big 3.
And Lancaster Mennonite in the 2A classification. Just an unbelievable assortment of teams from all over. We had Odessa in from Delaware this year. Glens Falls from New York State.
Far away is New York, New Jersey, Delaware, as Doug mentioned. It is the final act of the basketball season. Summer League is over. This is the second of the 2 Summer League championships that are held here at Cedar Beach. Multi-sport athletes will go to work on what they'll be doing in the fall. Malvern Prep, a multiple shot possession. They come up empty. Beautiful bounce pass, but a better job getting back defensively. It was Marvin Reed who had the quick hands and knocked it off an Aces player. 30-25, Malvern Prep.
Look who's taking that offensive rebound out.
Something, isn't he? Lower Merion has never led. Malvern Prep has gone wire to wire so far. That's kind of been a theme. You and I talked about that earlier. Teams that kind of gotten out to the early lead have been able to stave off most comebacks, especially with what we have seen. Well, of course, you're talking 18-minute running halves, and it doesn't give you a lot of time to recover. If you do have a spell where you go scoreless, say for 4 or 5 minutes, it can be tough to overcome.
Really difficult with the weather. Typically, you don't have as much depth in the summertime. People are doing other things like playing other sports and on vacation and doing other things. So not so much depth, the heat, and obviously the running clock, the 18 minutes each half.
Wave that basket off. Foul called on Langston Foster. Yeah, that's good breakdown. Harkin again with a field goal.
Marvin Reed on the assist.
Mobley, he's starting to take this thing over for the Aces. Couldn't finish. Got to the rim, just couldn't get it over the front.
Adam Herrington, that's his third. Team's fifth of the half.
Reed setting the Friars offense. Look at this guy Harkin again. Oh, he's having his way. 15 for Harkin. I believe we have him for 8 rebounds as well, and make it 9. He's taking over the game. Williams, everything but the bucket.
Just looked a little tired on that as he got up into the air. Shot was a little flat, hit the front of the rim.
Come on, coach. They don't get tired at 17, 18
not when
years
you're
old,
that
do
young.
they?
Not when you're that young, no.
We got one more in us, right?
I think I heard they're stopping in Lansdale on their way down the turnpike to play another game
Is
tonight.
that right? Another tournament, huh? A late night Sunday.
Yeah.
Warren Cole's first points of the half. He's got a handful. Scored 9 against Central in the semifinals. Tacks on the free throw. If it's going to happen for the Aces as we're under 10 minutes, I think they can afford too many empty possessions. Smooth for Williams. What'd you call it? Silky.
Silky smooth right there for number 54, Ryan Williams. It's just under control, savvy. Little pound dribble. Gets into his jump shot, the foul line right there, and knocks it down. Nothing flashy, although he was flash earlier on his great dunk.
I want to congratulate Jume Anderson, Randy Attia, entire staff. We got rained out with our extended coverage last night, missed out on 4 really good games. But they actually did come back down here and played the final games of the Saturday session back down here. They had their dunk competition, their 3-point shooters. Randy Attia, what a job he does over at Allen High School. I don't think I have to tell you about that young man. You brought him on your staff. You saw something in him, and he was a valuable assistant for you towards the tail end of your career at Allen High School.
Very charismatic, very personable, does a great job, interacts really well with people, running this tournament, highly organized, does a great job as the athletic director after being an assistant coach and a teacher for years.
He's got a passion for it. Thank him for his courtesies throughout the course of a year.
That voice you hear on the loudspeaker, just kudos to Jason Bogdan also for winning the Community Service Award. I mean, every time there's basketball at the youth level, the high school level, the college level, or the men adult level, Jason has something to do with it. I mean, he just does a great job.
A community service award given out in your honor, and you had the honor to present that, and you were able to get a tear in his eye, weren't you?
We caught him by surprise right there.
Yeah.
As Malvern Prep goes inside.
Aces dodged one there. Again, need to tack on points at the offensive end. It's more than getting stops defensively. McCabe, as they're trying to go inside, that is a strong play by Mebane. He had a tough time just securing possession of that entry pass.
Great entry pass from your guard on the wing inside. Big man Justin McBain scored 5 in the first half, has not yet scored, but has a chance to add 2 to the total and cut this 9-point lead to 7. Harkin back in the game. He gets about his 22 seconds of rest and back in. They want him around the glass.
Oh, happy hop.
There's that rim for you. There's that rim.
I thought that one was going to spring out of there. I've never seen a rim reject so many shots as that one. Strong move to the basket. Davis couldn't convert it.
See, all this time here, the administration of the side out of bounds is taking time. The running clock takes time all the way. And in a regular game, the clock would be stopped here, but no.
And it's what makes the comebacks that much more difficult.
Exactly right.
Contact prior to the shot attempt here. The non-shooting foul. Foul was on Marvin Reed, his first.
7 minutes. 7 minutes remaining.
Mobley.
I'm going to go out on a limb, Mike, and say number 4, John Mobley, plays football for Lower Merion. Just the way he moves, his strength, his body type. I'm going to say he's a running back, D-back, something like that.
You would get my vote. Like the way this guy plays too. Mebane with a soft touch. Back to a 6-point game and a beautiful block by Justin Mebane.
Scores at one end, gets the block at the other end off the glass.
Aces are trying to put a run together here. Heron Cole, excuse me.
Down to 4. And look who has the ball in his hands after a little bit of a run by the Aces. Great take right there. Uses the backboard to get that off the glass to score. The lead is 4.
Langston Foster completing his turn in there.
Chances are that Marvin Reed with the ball and Ryan Williams, 54, will handle the ball in the possession.
Caroline in a little trouble right in front of our vantage point. And they'll force a turnover. Chance to trim a 4-point lead. It's game on here. Boys championship.
Mobley's been attacking off the dribble. They're going to give him the ball and maybe make him attack. Maybe kick it to a jump shooter.
McCabe. Good job putting it on the deck. Everything but the bucket. And who's there for the rebound but Harkin. He may have a double-double at this point. Williams couldn't get it to the backboard to spin it off of there. The Friars able to control the mess. 4 and change. Lower Merion Aces. Malvern Prep Friars. Friars have led from the start. That ball was deflected. I believe it was Mebane who came out of it, shaken up a little bit, came down awkwardly on his ankle. McCabe for 3, a touch short. two teams are really getting after it right now. And a timeout charge to Malvern Prep. Even 4 minutes. Again, the clock will stop under 2 minutes in the second half if it is less than a 2-point difference. So certainly if you're Lower Merion, you got to keep it there, but they've made more than a run at it. They're within 4.
You don't want to freeze the basketball if you're a Malvern Prep. You want to continue to be on the offensive, but you don't have to force shots. Layups, a dribble penetration, maybe get to the foul line. Getting to the foul line, shooting 2 free throws takes time off the clock, which works in Malvern Prep's favor. So we'll see. But again, with the 2 guards they have with Ryan Williams and Marvin Reed, I mean, they both handle the ball and make great decisions whether or not they're shooting it or giving it up to somebody else like Harkin.
Ideally, what you're looking for is a little time and score. Share the basketball and try and get it into the right guy's hand. That's, you know, when you got a guy like Williams, that certainly makes these kind of scenarios, certainly he's got to be the vocal point of it. What a beautiful park system we have in Allentown. I know you're a product of the Allentown School District, as am I. I mean, these parks that we have here in this city are fantastic, aren't they?
It is unbelievable. That just this place alone, as we see Greg Downer standing there with his hands on his hips. I mean, the city of Allentown is blessed to have places like Lehigh Parkway and Trexler Park and playgrounds and parks like this. West Park, beautiful park in West Allentown. It's unbelievable. We just could keep going through the list of places. I mean, the fact that we have 120 teams who came to this tournament because it's in this park.
1-1.
Foul on the way to the basket. It will be the 1-1, and they're going to send Ryan Williams to the line. And valuable time is ticking off the clock.
Many times I have called timeouts in this scenario at the end of games when I was losing.
Williams' first trip to the line, and he will not get a chance at a second. That turns out to be a very good foul.
Mobley wants the high ball screen with the raised fist, cannot throw the ball through a person, so wasn't there. There was no window to pass the ball through.
Williams not going to miss. That's a big exchange there. Aces cannot ill afford too many exchanges like that going forward. Aaron Coles gets it into the hands of Nosek. Well, that's exactly what Greg Downer just did. He just saved some time. His guy's going to free throw line here, knowing that precious seconds could have tipped off. I think you heard what you were saying. He took a page out of your book.
He's got 3 state titles. I might have to take a page out of his book.
Well, we've been talking about Nick Harkin. He's going to be a 9th grader for the Friars. Has he been impressive today?
He just, again, the kind of guy that just does everything you want as a coach. He rebounds, he's around the rim, he's around the ball, he's playing defense, he'll score, he'll get offensive rebounds and putbacks. When people don't need to have the ball in their hands to be good players like Harkin, good things happen. They'll just go and get it off the glass.
Hard to get a read on him on his side, but he looks like there's, you know, at 9th grade, heck, there could be a nice growth spurt yet for him. I hope they keep coming back. I'd love to finish his story till it's all over.
And Marvin Reed, number 12 as well, both of them.
Right.
Yeah, Harkin looks like he's about 6'1" or so,
right.
6'2" maybe, and he looks so young, so you know he's going to continue to grow.
Correct. Nosek unable to take advantage on the first free throw. He'll get another. Those are 2 big ones. Watched Prep earlier this afternoon in a 9-point win against Liberty. Thought they did a really good job of dictating tempo, playing at their pace, playing under control. It's kind of been the same thing here in the championship game.
Also very impressed with their man-to-man defense. Very solid. You talked about them closing shooters out,
Yes.
and getting to offensive players.
Was that a hard-earned bucket for Aaron Cole?
Still only a 4-point game here. Pressure's coming up here. Reed makes the great decision to not try to go after it and pull the ball out and use clock.
Trying to turn the corner.
Wide open shot, but he's not going to take a three. Uncontested two. Get fouled or whatever.
Tell you, that kind of decision-making doesn't come without a lot of attention to detail from the coaching staff. A lot of trust between the players and coaches. McElwain, 1-1, will come up empty on the first attempt. Chance to make it a one-possession game. Boy, Mobley took a hit, couldn't convert, and it leads to a leak out the other way.
4-point swing right there. Mobley got a great look at the basket, and that miss leads to a Marvin Reed layup at the opposite end.
McCabe throwing one up off the board, couldn't score. And that little exchange could just about do it. Cade Cooper, number 10, another ninth grader to be, now into the game.
Think about the experience that these three young men as rising freshmen are getting in a tournament like this, playing a number of games against a quality competition and really being relied upon.
Cooper earns another. Made a free throw against Liberty this afternoon. Able to follow his own miss.
2 shots. 2 shots.
Foul taken by Lower Merion, stops the clock. Williams to the free throw line. I believe they're in the bonus. Error for Williams. Neil Boyle, Central Catholic product, trying to take the program one step further than they did a year ago. Losing to Reading in the title game. Wonder if he's going to join his brother Pat down at the shore. I think everybody's going to the shore after this tournament.
Eddie Olson has a house
right?
up in Connecticut at the water.
He's on his way, yeah?
5 o'clock tomorrow morning, I do believe.
Friars.
You're not going to the beach, Mike. You're going to the golf course. So, again, that's just as well.
I'll probably visit the beach while I'm there at some point. I'm sure I'll hit it in a bunker or two somewhere.
I don't know.
Count?
I don't. No,
I
don't think with you. I don't think with you.
Yeah, good concentration by Cooper, able to knock down the second. He's 2 for 4 from the stripe. Nice little shovel pass. Mebane perhaps not quite the legs there. Third game of the day. Fryer is going to pick up an easy pair. Reed with the bucket.
30 seconds.
Malvern Prep never trailed in this game. Only single-digit game they had
20 seconds. 20 seconds.
prior to this title game was a 9-point victory over Liberty, won by 30, 14, 20, 17, 17. 9-point win over Liberty. Stands at 12 right now, and we asked the question, Doug, does, the lack of numbers for Greg Downer and Lower Merion, only 7-2 reserve, does it play a toll? Perhaps, especially when you're fighting that uphill battle.
7,
in heat.
5-4.
And they will count it down. Malvern Prep will win the 2023 edition of the Bash at the Beach. The A-Town Throwdown, 46-34. Your final. Final championship has been determined. Malvern Prep wins their first after finishing runner-up a year ago. They win by a dozen. Pretty solid effort by them from start to finish in this tournament, Doug Snyder, and win by 12 here in the championship game. And using the same formula that, I mean, you saw them play a couple of times throughout the week. We watched them against Central Liberty earlier today. Same formula that they have used all week long.
Two strong guards who handle the ball and kind of make sure everything is calm and collected. That would be Ryan Williams, the senior, and number 12. That's Marvin Reed, who's only going to be a rising freshman. Those two handle the ball. Williams is a special player, obviously, and he got 17 tonight after going for 24 earlier this afternoon. But those two guys really stayed. But talk about the efforts of Harkin. I mean, that young man, Nick Harkin,
really
15
good.
points and a bunch of rebounds to go along with that as a role player.
Well, the other thing that we have seen in these tournaments, a team that's got the best player is usually the one who wins. And I don't think there's any question from what we've seen today, Ryan Williams was a standout player.
No doubt about that. He's got a bunch of Division I scholarships on the table. We'll take some official visits. You get 5 officials. He'll take some this fall, and we'll see where it lends him. But good luck to both these teams as they move to the end of the summer, go back to school, get in the classroom, and then start worried about the winter season.
Let's tune in with Tume Anderson and our post-game ceremonies.
Awesome team, John Mobley. Awesome team from from Malvern Prep, Nick Haskins. Excuse me, Nick Harkins. Apologies, Nick. Awesome game. Oh, shit. You guys got that was good move on. Doesn't matter. I'm going to skim that. I'll not worry about it. Awesome team from Malvern Prep, Marvin Reed. Yeah, Marvin. Just take that. And your 2023 A-Town Throwdown most awesome player, Ryan Williams. The 2023 A-Town Throwdown champions, Malvern Prep. Yeah, the Valley man, Coach Boyle. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate everyone for coming through here for the 2023 A-Town Throwdown at Awesome Fest. Thanks to all of our volunteers, all of our directors for making this happen, City of Allentown, and all of our loyal sponsors. Thank you all of our celebrated supporters for coming out here. We appreciate it. Please. Thank you guys all for coming. We'll see you guys next year, 2024.
All right, there you have the championship for the boys as we welcome you back to our vantage point. Doug Snyder, I mean, it is a winner for everybody. I mean, to bring together over 100 teams, whether it be varsity, JVs, boys, girls. I mean, they cover all aspects of it. We talked about Delaware, New Jersey, New York, obviously Pennsylvania. Just a winner and a great opportunity for folks to show off the great park system here in Allentown.
Exactly right. And these teams keep coming back. Every summer, they don't leave. They keep coming back, and they get more and more teams. We're up to 120-some teams.
Yeah.
There'll probably be a few more next year.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Oh, Tia and Tume will have to try to get more space and more court space so that they can play these games. But think about two suburban Philly teams, well-schooled, coming up here to play for a championship, and the Lehigh Valley fans enjoying to watch that brand of basketball.
It certainly is a winner. Lower Merion individual scoring. McCabe wound up with 3. Her and Cole wound up with 10. Mobley a dozen. 1 for Nosek, 8 for Mebane. On the other end of it for Malvern Prep, 17 for Williams, 8 for Reed, 15 for Harkin. Got to like the way that young man plays. Davis had a pair and 2 points for Cooper off the bench. So they jump into the scorers column and get a victory here. Winner for everybody. Once again, a recap of the day's championship. In the girls JV, it was Bethlehem Catholic winning 29-15. Boys JV tournament went to Parkland with a 45-32 win over Reading. Girls varsity, Parkland a winner over Emmaus 43-37. Our boys champion is Malvern Prep 46-34 over Lower Merion. Partner, thank you very much. I'll look very much forward to the winter months coming up. We had a number of local teams really play well this week.
Oh, we have a lot to look forward to because those Colonial League and East Penn Conference teams are really going to be powerful.
For Doug Snyder, I'm Mike Zambelli. Thanks for tuning in to Championship Sunday here. 2023 Bash at the Beach. The A-Town Throwdown Awesome Fest is now in the books. 46-34, your final.